And if you want him to commit to you and only to you, why the hell would he do that and not get anything else in return except for brr, brr, and a pretty face? You know, I was talking to this lady the other day, hypothetically, and I asked her hypothetically, right? If your man paid all of the bills in the household, you didn't have to go to work, you have a baby, and he pays you a minimum monthly allowance of £500 a month, but probably more. This is after all the bills, after your clothes have been paid for, after your family holidays have been paid for. This is just your extra spending money to go to the spa with your girlfriends, buy extra makeup, buy extra random things, go on little things and put money away, whatever you want to do with it. I said to her, if you marry that type of guy, would he have to do the cleaning in the house? She said, hell no. Well, I said, you're disqualified. I said, would he have to do the nappies if he was that guy? He's bringing all the money. And remember, he's not bringing all the money to a basic lifestyle. I'm saying you're living a great lifestyle. You've got a lovely house, big house. You go on nice holidays probably 3 times a year. You wear nice clothes. You have a car each, probably 2 cars each. Why not? You know, the weekend car and the runner car throughout the week. You know, the 7-seater and the sports car on the weekend. You know how it goes. I said, would he still need to do chores? She said no. I'm like, what the hell? Well, disqualified. No high value man will ever date you, love. Then I asked her, would he have to do nappies still? If he's traveling across the world, bringing all that money in, planning this big lifestyle. She said, you still have to do the nappies. So I said to her, why the hell would he pay all the bills then and give him a monthly allowance? Because if he's still having to do all the chores and clean the nappies, you know, he could do that by being an average man. All the average men can have a wife and still go 50-50 on the bills, 50-50 on the chores, and 50-50 on changing the nappies. What does the high value man get for working that hard and for being that rare guy? Because the high value man, the high value alpha male is like 1% of the population. He's got to get something. Otherwise, what is the point of him being that? If he gets the same level of treatment as an average man, he might as well become an average man because he gets the same reward. What the hell is the point of playing in the Premier League if you don't get to get the extra money and the extra viewership on TV? The extra sponsorship deals, the extra fame. What is the point? If the people in the Premier League got paid the exact same money as people in League 7, they may have to play in League 7, around the corner. Like, what? Why go through all that pain, that mental challenge? Why go through all that hardship in life just to get the same result as the guy working in Tesco's going 50-50 with you? May as well just do that. So the woman that's going to get a high value alpha male will realize that she's got to bring something a bit special to the table. Because you got to remember, yeah, with a high value alpha male, the game flips on your head. Because thing with girls, right? A lot of girls have this narcissism to think that they have more options than men. And obviously that is true. I ain't going to lie. Most women have more options than most men until they meet a high value alpha male. And that's when they realize that, damn, he been getting checked out on the street. Every time I go out with that brother, I walk down the high street, there's 3 girls that know him. When I go to his workplace, all the girls are piling after him. His staff love him. The employees love him. His associates love him. Damn, even his clients want to date him. You realize you're not the only one with a full box of DMs until you meet a high value alpha male, okay? Then you realize you're on the same playing field here now, okay? See those little toy boys you got down there that can barely get any women? Those average, no offense to average guys, but you know, there's average guys down there that, you know, they're just so desperate to have you because you're the only girl that has shown him interest in the last like 5 years. That is not the reality for an alpha male. You're dealing with a male that has a lot of options. I mean, a lot. He's getting checked up on every single day. If he really is that guy, that high value alpha male, boss man, winner, big career, entrepreneur, sports star, actor, musician, whatever it is, if he's that guy, he has more options than you. Okay? And when I say options in this context, I mean options of women that want to commit to him. Okay, because you might have a lot of options of men that want to play around with you. But I mean, when you have a high value alpha male, this guy is in total demand. It's a whole different type of male. That's why I'm saying, do you qualify for a high value alpha male? Because a lot of you guys have no idea what the hell you're getting into when you're dealing with a man like this. Because this guy is a whole different type of enigma. I mean, look, I've been asked for marriage 4 times. I have never proposed once. But women have proposed to me over my life 4 times. Now, they didn't get down on one knee, but they asked, I want to get married to you. Will you marry? And it's like, whenever I start dating a girl, they just, the speed is just too quick. They just throw me in to meet their parents ASAP. And then once the parents know who I am, they get so excited. Oh my God, I want to. Then if the whole family's on it, they're like, oh, Hezron, you can come over anytime you want. You can marry her. Blah, blah, blah. One of the girls' parents, I said no, humbly, I declined it. 3 months later, they asked again because they realized what kind of special man that they were dealing with here. And that's the kind of man you'll be dealing with if you're actually trying to go after a high value alpha male. Can you cope with that? Can you cope with your man being in demand 24/7? No matter where you go, people know of him because he is successful in his craft. He is successful in his business. People know him. He has high social status, not only with his own circle, but with other alpha males as well. Can you cope with that? Most women cannot cope with that. In their fantasy, yeah, but you go on one date with a high value alpha male, if you get lucky enough to get invited on one, because most women will never get the opportunity to do it, because most alpha males are very picky. So you probably will never have the opportunity. But if you do ever get the opportunity, go on a date with him, and then can you cope with the waitress flirting with him? The waitress will see him, great man, dressed nicely, smells good. He has that, because women can smell aura. He has that aura of confidence and in control and dominance and power and strength. I'm telling you now, the waitress will be liking him. Can you cope with that and continue like it's normal? If you can't cope with it, there's the door. Go find yourself an average male. Most women cannot cope with that. For most women, the majority of the guys that they've ever dated, they were in total control because out of the 2 people in the relationship, everyone was looking for her. Everyone thought, oh, she was so pretty. Oh, she's so beautiful. No one's checking for the back. You know those typical relationships where like, no one's checking for the guy, but the girl's hot. When you're dealing with the alpha male now, a lot of times people will be completely ignoring you. I am around a lot of alpha males, when they come into like parties and stuff, people just go straight to handshake the alpha male's hand, and sometimes they ignore the wife as if the wife don't exist. Can you accept having the limelight never being on you? The women that are married to the alpha males that I know, they can. I don't care. I'm getting all the rewards here. I'm living a good life. I'm flying private jets. I'm taking it. Because a lot of the men that they're with, they're famous. Okay? So the eyes are going on the man. The woman's just there. It's sad to say, but that is how it is. And if you always need to have this sense of self-importance wherever you go, and you are the greatest, and you're the most beautiful in the relationship, and you're the most powerful in the relationship, you will never be able to cope with a high-value man because he will have more options of commitment than you. Especially as time goes along, because he ages like fine wine. Can you cope with that life? Always being put in second position all the time. People just looking at you as an accessory. I don't want it to be that way, but I'm telling you, that's the way that it is. So a real smart woman knows that she's got to bring something completely, totally unique to the alpha's male's life for him to commit to her. You can't be just doing the bare average and getting a high value male. It's just not going to function. Because he knows that an average man can get an average woman and get that average behavior. He wants more.